Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here with you, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio to address whatever topics you might like to discuss, whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. God is concerned about that which concerns you. So you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart and whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. And so we are here every day, Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We are broadcasting on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and on RadioFreeNetwork.com Live. You can go to RadioFreeNetwork.com, click on radio, the drop box will appear, and every broadcast will be available to you. And I want to remind all of our listeners and viewers that every first Thursday of the month, so the day after tomorrow, with us live in 3D will be Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, BeccaTheDietitian.com, who will be with us to discuss a topic that will enhance our health and wellness. She's with us every month. You can go to her website, get some tips at BeccaTheDietitian.com. You can also look at on her site all of the insurances she takes. Contact your insurance company to determine whether or not you can take advantage of her services. But she is here with us every first Thursday of the month to discuss topics that will enhance our health and wellness. And I want to make an announcement today. I announced this yesterday, but for those of you that weren't able to tune in, those of you who have not gone back and viewed the archive from yesterday, we are in the process of developing and launching a inspirational internet gospel station. We want you to tune in. We'll keep you informed, provide you with the information so that another platform that will allow you to be present with us in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, and the Sunday sermon on Sundays at New Life Christian Center. And you will be able to hear inspirational music that will inspire your spirit for 24 hours a day. So you'll want to be tuned in. We'll be giving you more information regarding that in the weeks to come. But we're in the process of developing that now so that we can launch within the first quarter of this year. So to God be the glory, and I want to thank all of you for continuing to tune in and continuing to be present with us, encouraging your family, friends, co-workers, and colleagues to tune in every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Time in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer where it is bottled right at the source, guaranteed to never run out until you unscrew this blue cap. It is untouched by human hands. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Fiji Water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com and NewLifeInternationalCDC.com. We thank you for your support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you and with you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you are finding it difficult to get in a rhythm after dealing with COVID and the changes of working, the changes in your work environment you're finding it difficult to work from home, and you want to know how can you get back into a rhythm. So let me begin by saying this. You're not alone in this. Now, to God be the glory, you've not been sick from COVID, you are in good health. So that's the first factor. You're in good health. You're dealing with COVID is the mental frustration, COVID fatigue. And that's happened for a lot of people. Contrary to popular belief, well, I shouldn't say popular belief, but contrary to some who believe that this is not real and that it's some man-made topic, this is a public health crisis. The pandemic is real and COVID is real. Many people are suffering from COVID fatigue because for the last 2 years, it has changed the way we do everything. I get it. So you're dealing with the fatigue of it, the changes in your work environment, not being able to have the interaction with your colleagues that you would normally have on a daily basis when you're in the office. You are finding it difficult to work from home because there's no separation between work and home. So let me just break this down for you, how you get back into a rhythm. There's a term that says we pivot and we adapt. The reality is that we've all had to change the way we do things. The only thing that we know that is constant in life is change. Unfortunately, this has been a forced change because it's a health crisis. And it has forced all of us to distance ourselves from one another. So you're right, we don't have the same interaction that we would have with people on a daily basis, but we can interact. And let me encourage you to do this, because you have to remember that when you don't see people in person, that makes it more difficult to build relationships, to bond, to allow you to build relationships that are sustainable and helpful to you in your career. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is to do this. Turn your Zoom camera on. If you're in a meeting, turn your camera on and hope that everyone else has their camera on. And those who don't have their camera on, it's okay, but you'll be able to see other people in your Zoom meetings. Because part of the fatigue that people are experiencing and part of the stress of the challenge of the work environment is that they're not able to look at one another. They're not able to see one another. But you're working from home. That's the only opportunity right now that you have to see people without a mask. So you've got to, you really have to take advantage of the opportunity to see one another, even if it's just looking in each other's eyes while you're on the screen. That will help you to make that adjustment, because there's a change in your work environment. Now, you're finding it difficult to work from home because you say work overlaps with home. Yes, it does. And I know this is going to take me into the next communication, but we have to recognize how important it is to just make the transition by being in harmony with our work and home environment. And what that means is don't stress yourself out if you find yourself, starting earlier because you don't have commute time. Don't stress yourself out if you go back on after you're done with dinner in the evening. Don't stress yourself out about it, because all that's going to do is allow you to perform at a higher level. If you're starting your work day earlier than you normally would start because you have commute time to get into the office, you're going to be performing during that time. If you're going to be getting back on in the evening after dinner, you're going to find that it's easy for you to get more work done even after hours. So we've got to take advantage of the changes as opposed to resisting the changes or stressing about the changes or becoming fatigued about the changes. Let's look at the positives and focus on being and remaining productive. Let's focus on that. You know, when the pandemic first occurred and we shut down, many companies talked about how people were being more productive, 30% more productive, working from home than they were in the office. And the reason is because it was new. It was exciting to have a new experience of being able to work from home as opposed to getting up and going into the office every day. So people were performing because of one of the things you said, which is they were starting their day earlier and ending their day later, so they were getting more work done. But then after a period of time, it was no longer new and exciting. And it became a new routine, but it was still the same business routine. Still have work to do. We've got to focus on being or becoming and remaining more productive. And you can do that by getting an earlier start. You can do that by extending your hours, because you have the benefit of being at home. So just remember this. We all should be able to overcome COVID fatigue now, because we're 2 years into this. 2 years into a change in our lifestyle, our work environment, and the change in our home life, our work, business, and home life environment. That has given us enough time to make the adjustment. Knowing what we have to do, knowing what we need to do, and making certain that we get it done. And so, with that said, what's going to be most effective to get you back into a rhythm is to focus on being and remaining productive, getting as much done in each day as you possibly can accomplish. There's a benefit to being able to work extra hours because you're at home without the phone ringing from your colleagues or the phone ringing from customers or clients. You just being able to focus and settle in on what other aspects to your business that you need to focus on after having dinner. Extended hours in the morning, extended hours in the evening translates into more productivity if we apply our time correctly, if we're effective and efficient with managing our time. You can do this, but I will encourage you, your work environment, start just when you have a Zoom meeting, just turn on your camera. Get dressed, put on your makeup, do your hair, and get on your Zoom camera. And you don't even have to do it every day. Just maybe once a week, just so that you can interact with others. You can, if they have the camera on, you can look in their eyes, you can see them, they can see you. Even if you start doing it once a week. You may decide to do it twice a week. You may decide to do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 times a week. But whatever it is, you get to make that decision. Once again, we control the things we can control. We accept the things that are out of our control. But all you want to do is engage your work environment so that you can overcome some of the fatigue also. And then at the simultaneously, you want to focus on being more productive and remaining more productive. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile. America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will place you into our queue so that you may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated, okay, you are struggling with work-life balance, and you want to know what can you do to get more balance in your life. You said you've been struggling with this for the last 2 years. You didn't really feel like you had a problem with work-life balance prior to the pandemic. Now you feel like you have a problem with work-life balance. Well, you actually had a problem with it. You know, as I was prayerful about this, God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life. You actually had a problem with work-life balance, but you didn't realize that you were having a problem with work-life balance until the pandemic. You were having a problem with work-life balance because you were more focused on life than you were work. But here's the reality. This is the biggest one of the biggest misconceptions that society has taught us, is that we should stress ourselves out about having work-life balance. You don't need work-life balance. What we need is work-life harmony. We need to make certain that our business, our professional life, and our personal lives are in harmony with one another, are in sync with one another. That we get a real clear understanding that we need our business or our professional life to be able to build a great quality of personal life. We need to make certain, so think about it like this, and I'll use this analogy. Most of us are working a 10, maybe a 12-hour day. Most of us are. So let's just, for the sake of discussion, say that we're working 10 to 12 hours a day. So there's 24 hours in a day. So if you're working 10, that leaves you 14 hours. If you're working 12, that leaves you 12 hours. And at least 8 of that, you need to get the appropriate amount of sleep. And the rest belongs to you. What you do with that time is going to determine how much harmony you have in your life. We don't work, we don't eat. So we have to understand the importance of our professional life. I'm not suggesting that your professional life has to define who you are. What I'm suggesting is that your professional life has to be maximized so that you can maximize the quality of your personal life. We're seeking harmony between the two, the synergies that will allow our lives to become all that God has purposed us to become, that we will experience the fullness of God. Society has taught us that we need work-life balance, which says to me, society doesn't really want us to maximize our success, because they're basically defining something that is going to stress us out. Well, I spend too much time at work and not enough time in my personal life. I spend too much time on my career and I don't spend enough time on having a social life. No, you just have to find the harmony. It doesn't matter how many hours a day you work, as long as you're at harmony and at peace, in harmony and at peace in your personal life. The goal is to maximize our success. The goal is to experience the fullness of God. We've spent so much time in our lives catching the particles of God. You know, the Big Bang Theory applies to our lives also. You know, these particles of God that are floating around in our lives. Some of them are creature comforts, some of them are personal relationships, some of them are the tangible things that we've got to recognize that those things are the particles of God. When we're in harmony with our body, our mind, and our spirit. And think about this, your mind can't be at peace if you're not having professional success. If you're not having professional success, you're going to be stressed. And if you're stressed, you're not going to have the harmony that we desire to accomplish in life, both personally and professionally. So we really have to work on just having harmony in every aspect of our lives. That is smooth. It's that relaxing feeling that when we wake up every day, we enjoy what we're doing. You know, let me share with you one of the challenges that you have also. You have a challenge with the fact that you do your job, but you don't really like your job. But if you change your mindset, renew your mind, reset, and think about it in this aspect. I'm doing what I'm doing because I'm good at it. I'm doing what I'm doing because this is part of my career. This is the career that I am competent and proficient at performing. I'm able to master this so that I'm at peace in my professional life. And then I can have peace in my personal life because I can choose the things that I'm going to enjoy doing, as opposed to stressing myself out about what I can't get done because I'm busy working. These dynamics, the dynamics of life are really determined by our perspective. Can you just do what you enjoy doing? Let me rephrase that. Can you do what you're doing and learn to enjoy doing it? Believing God that this is where He has you at this particular time. And then keep moving forward and keep pressing forward, and everything in time will come to pass that God has spoken and revealed to you and that God has appointed for you. That's what we have to really understand. That God is never going to put any more on you than you can bear. Sometimes we take more on ourselves than we really need to be responsible for. But God says, if you just trust me, I'll get you to where you need to go. I'll get you to the place I appointed for your life. I'll get you to the place that I purposed for your life. But just do your part where you are right now. And trust God to do the rest. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you're in any of those areas, stop in at the retail stores. They have everything a man could possibly need. They have shirts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. If you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. They will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. And The White Company, located in London, the UK, and they also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York. So if you're in New York, stop in at the retail store. They have everything you could possibly need. They have home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. If you're not in New York, you can order from The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They too will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you have been considering searching for a new position that will increase your income. You want to know, should you leave your current company and seek another position that will pay you more money? So let me say this to you. The answer to that is no. You don't need to leave your company to get an increase. You're going to be promoted. Let me say that to you first and foremost. With the promotion is going to come an increase in income. You're going to be promoted because you're competent. You just have to continue working at the level that you're on right now and maximize this level. Really maximize your success at this level. You're successful, but maximize your success at this level. What that looks like is that you do your job, fulfill the responsibilities that are assigned to you, and then begin doing some of the work at the level above you. Get familiar with the level above you. Get familiar with the job that is the position that you report to. And eventually, over time, what's going to happen is you're going to get promoted and you're going to have a higher income. The one thing I want to caution you is that when you get promoted and you get that increase, continue living on the income that you have right now. So often, and I'm just going down the path that God is given me to speak. So often what happens is that people get a raise, an increase, a promotion, whatever the case may be. And the moment they do that, they begin spending the increase. They change the level of living based on their increase. What I want to encourage you to do is live on your current income, continue living on your current income. The entire increase, begin saving. Saving, and you can invest. So save by putting some cash into CDs. They're not going to pay you a lot right now, but you'll get in the practice of saving that increase. And then you can take that increase and begin to invest it on an individual account, and you will find that you will increase your wealth by your investments. That savings will allow you to do some things in the future that you've been hoping to have you were hoping to have the opportunity to do previously, and that is to purchase your first home. You've never been a homeowner, but that will happen for you because you're going to get promoted and because you've been on your job for a significant period of time. If you change jobs, sure, whatever your credit score is now, you change jobs, you're going to be fine. But it's better when you have a longer employment history in one position as you have right now. That too has an impact on your credit score. It's just a minor impact, but it does have an impact. Of course, your residency, the longer you live in one place, that too has an impact on your credit score. All of these things are variables that have an impact on your credit score. So eventually you'll be able to purchase your very first home. And that will allow you to enhance the quality of your life without exceeding your current expenses. So I want to encourage you to stay where you are, be still, and know that God is God. He's got you. You will be promoted, and you will experience increase, and you will experience a better quality of life. A great quality of life. To God be the glory. Today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast 3D has been brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. May God bless you today. May God keep his face turned towards you. May God give you peace that surpasses all understanding. Remember, you don't want to miss on Thursday. Well, you want to be with us the entire week, but on Thursday with us right here in 3D, Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, will be with us in 3D.